Okay, so today I'm excited to talk to us about something that is I'm very passionate about, which is boosting your genetic code with this simple trick. We're going to be learning about genetics and how it interplays with environment, kind of like epigenetics, but that's a fancy word to say that you can influence your genetics with what you do in the environment. So that's what we are going to be looking at today. And the why for this video, the reason for this video is to make us understand that our genetics does not have to define us. We definitely have different genetics. This fingerprint that we all have is different for every single person. Over 6 billion, or just 7 billion people in the world by the last count. And all of us have different fingerprints, meaning we are all made unique in a very unique way. And that's very important for us to know at the beginning of this video. I am unique. You have to tell yourself, I'm unique, I'm made different, and my uniqueness helps me to achieve my purpose in a very different way, in a very unique way. You don't have to compare yourself with anybody. So, how do you align your habits with your natural talent and your natural abilities? So that's the reason for this video, is to help us to realize that recognize your natural talent, your natural abilities, and then align the things you do to help your natural abilities. And that's the main purpose for this video. And HEM is for meaning making, like always is adapt and advance number 17, yay, which means we have done this for 17 weeks, beginning from the first week of December 2024. So this is adapt and advance number 17, and we always use the map lamp to go through the points, which is M, meaning making. First M is meaning making. So for meaning making, typically I use the story of successful people or quotes in this part of the teaching. And the successful person I'm going to talk about today is a renowned swimmer named Michael Phelps. Phelps is the last name, who did very good, an Olympic swimmer, and succeeded greatly in swimming. And I'm going to tell us his natural abilities, how he used it to help him with swimming, and how he also used his habits to merge with his natural abilities to become a very great swimmer. Okay, so Michael Phelps, who is a very successful Olympic swimmer, I'm going to look at how he used one, his genetics, referring to his natural abilities, his natural talents. He has a long upper part of his body, which is based on research or experts, it's very good for swimming. So typically when you have a long upper body, it's a very good thing for swimming. He has short legs, makes him kind of also designed for swimming too. So his body is built for buoyancy in swimming. Um, this is his natural talent. No matter how much somebody else who doesn't have that kind of body build tries, they might not be able to beat him because he is already naturally gifted for swimming. So the same way, how does this apply to you? You're not Michael Phelps. It applies to you like, what are my natural abilities? If you are tall, there might be a reason for it. There might be some things that you can do because of your height. If you are also short, there might be some things you might do better because of that height. Just using height as an example, there are just so many parts of us, so many aspects of our life, both physical ability, emotional abilities that affect us. So Michael Phelps was able to recognize his own abilities as it relates to swimming. Psychologically too, he had a very strong work ethic, which also boosted him a lot for the career which he chose, which made him very successful. So it was a blend of his genetics, his body build, his psychological aspect of his life. And also, we're going to look at a few habits that worked for him. To boost his genetics, what did Michael Phelps do? One, strong work ethic. He practiced relentlessly. The same way, when you have discovered your natural talent, there has to be a lot of practice that goes into enhancing how to build your natural talent. What else did Michael Phelps do? He had training that is designed for his strength, that helps to bring out the best of him out in the swimming world. And what's the third thing he did? He had mental preparation. Michael Phelps all prepared. He was always using what is called visualization when he was interviewed, and this was very helpful for him to succeed very well in the career that he chose. So his genetics on one hand helped him, and on the other hand, environment or habits, things that he does, helped him to achieve his goals and his purpose. So to drive this point home under meaning making of for Michael Phelps in chapter 18 of Atomic Habits, which I've shown us in previous videos, he compared Michael Phelps with somebody who was a runner, a long distance runner, very successful long distance runner too. From Morocco. His name is, let me check his name, Icham El Guerrouj. Icham El Guerrouj. He had a shorter upper body and a longer leg, just opposite of Michael Phelps. The point here is, why, if Michael Phelps had decided to choose running as his career, and the runner, Guerrouj, decides to swim, perhaps the two of them would not succeed as much as they succeeded. What is this telling us? There's something about your genetics that informs you. So there's information in the genetic makeup, and that information is positive. There's a way you can use your genetic makeup in a positive way to help you achieve your purpose. So you've got to look inward and say, what is my genetic makeup and how can I use it? Or had my habits and my environmental influences, like in the case of Michael Phelps' visualization, upon the genetics that I have, so that you are not running another man's race. Do not run another man's race. Run your own race that you are physically and genetically equipped for. That's the essence of this video. So that is meaning making, and for today, our meaning making is primarily centered on the story of Michael Phelps, contrasting him with the runner Guerrouj from Morocco. So letting us know that our natural talent is telling us something, what you are naturally gifted for, even the way your body is built, and every aspect of your genetic, seen and unseen. There are a lot of genetic part of us that is not necessarily seen. So everything is giving us information, and that information, we need to use it in a positive way to help us achieve our goals. So the next one is A, which is massive action, like I always like to call it. We've got to take action. It's not just enough for us to say, okay, I'm naturally gifted for this. But actions has to back it up. So when you have to choose habits that fit your personality and your inclination, that fit your body build, if you have one, no matter what you do, what you are naturally gifted for, you will fly far better than what you are not naturally gifted for. And, people have said it, that at times the educational system could be crippling because it might make it hard for us. It might be helping us to manage weaknesses instead of focusing on strengths. So what this video is telling us today is focus on your strength and put actions that helps your strength, help you with your strength. Put actions behind it. And one big action is, after recognizing what you want to do, visualize and see yourself. That was what Michael Phelps did. One of his actions is visual. He uses visualization a lot. He used it. And what does that mean? You see yourself becoming what you are meant to be and those big goals that you have. So visualization is an habit which I practice this every morning. It's part of the savers I've talked over and over about. Yeah. So visualization is the V in savers. So visualization is, this is what I want to be. And personally, one example I would give for myself here is, I believe I'm naturally gifted to have a kind heart. It doesn't stress me to be kind to people, to speak with kindness. Of course, we all can have a little bit of it, but I believe some people are more gifted than others. And one of the reasons I chose psychiatry that I'm doing right now is because I believe I have a heart. I always call it in quotes of like a pastor, meaning I care for people in a deep way. and care for my patients in a deep way. It comes out of me naturally. What some people struggle to do in terms of showing empathy, showing kindness, it's not difficult for me at all. But for example, my physical body build is not so much for a lot of athletic things. And for many other reasons, it's not my thing so much. When I exercise, like I talk a lot about my exercise, when I do resistance exercise, like I do push-ups on some days of the week, I do maximum deadlift, lifting of weights on some days of the week. All of that is just for me to keep healthy. I tell people I'm not doing it because I so much enjoy it. And I walk, moving a minimum of 10,000 steps every day, average of 12,000 steps weekly, monthly, yearly. I do all of this not because I have so much of natural talent in athletics, but because I believe it's the thing to do for good health. And again, if you look at the things I selected, there are things that I still have some natural giftings for. There are some things that I would not choose. There's some level of respect that I'm not gifted to do. And maybe choosing a career in that will not make sense for me. That's just one example from me as a person. But for us, some people, they have very big builds from when inside of their mother's womb, and maybe even muscular and things like that, which might point straight in the direction of you are made for athletics and things like that. So that's just one example. There are so many examples of how our genetics can play a role in our lives as we make choices. So back it up with action. So for me, the action I put behind my genetics is I make sure that I'm sound in terms of the science behind what I do, which is psychiatry. And one thing I make sure I do questions every day to refresh my knowledge so I can give the best to my patient. I make sure I listen to audio recordings of things that train and teach me every day to make sure I'm sound for what I'm cut out to do. Uh, the videos I do here, it comes out of me naturally to it the way I do it. There are many other ways this can be done, but the way I'm doing it, it's not stressing me at all. So the point is find your area of strength and then design things around it to work out the best for you. Take actions of habits that align with what comes easily to you and what you enjoy doing. So, and it's in every area of your life that you should take actions and do things in a way that is enjoyable, in a way that fits into your genetics in a good way and in a right way, and that helps you achieve your goals. So look for those actions. You don't have to do it the way everybody, like I said, we have different fingerprints. Every doctor does not have to do things the same way. Every psychiatrist does not have to do it exactly this. Everybody is extremely unique. So do it your own way, of course, within the larger goal of your organization, and make sure that things are working out for you. Good. So P, which is planning, M is meaning making, A is action, P is planning. So how do you bring planning into your genetic code to help you to maximize it? One, you have to sit down and recognize what comes effortlessly to me. What do I enjoy doing that I don't have to stress myself, and I don't have to struggle so much to do it? Make a list of those things. I've been doing this for more than 20 years now. I always make a list of my strengths, and I see how can I use it in the big picture of things for my life. So where do I naturally excel? I just give you an example. I don't naturally excel with athletic things, but some people do. So what do you naturally excel with? And even looking at subjects, remember when I was in school, I did not excel. I did relatively good with a lot of practice. There's some things you can, the issue is you can still excel with putting a lot of effort, but there are some areas where with 10% effort, you get 100% result. There's some area with 90% effort, you get 70%. You will still pass, but it's like grueling and effort and effort and effort. So why do you want to choose an area of life where you have to like struggle so hard to achieve little? Whereas there are some areas of your life where you struggle just a tiny bit, or the effort just boost you up to a big way. So and it's because it's so unique, And because it's you, it's your life, you just got to figure it out for yourself. And because we are all at different stages, that doesn't mean you should leave your job or leave whatever you're doing right now. But you've got to just structure things and, I would say, slowly move in the direction that gives you joy every single day. So in the jobs you accept, in the things you do, always have a plan to move slowly. Like the job I'm accepting, for example, this year after residency, my number one consideration is I've got to do things that will give me time for research because I love research. I've got to do things that will give me time for these videos because I believe strongly, and to publish books because I believe strongly it's part of my destiny. So while I'm making all those decisions, I'm thinking of the things that give me joy. And of course, the job also gives me joy too. I want to do it in an aspect that makes me happy doing whatever I'm doing. And I'm building things to make that possible for me and to make every bit of everything I do every day a job for me. So for learning, which is MAPLAMP, MAPL, learning is develop mastery in the areas where you have strength. And I'm going to recommend a book which I just bought. I've not even taken the test myself, but I will likely do a 2.0 of this after taking the test. The title of the book is Strength Finder 2.0. If you buy the book, it's going to give you an opportunity to do like a Strength Finder quiz, which you can buy alone without a book. And it helps you've come up with the best of your strengths and helps you, like, gives you ideas and wisdom on how to maximize the strengths that you have. So I would recommend the book, Strength Finder, so that you kind of like recognize your strengths and you know the area of life where you will excel the more and the things to do to build the habits that will make it easy for you to excel in the things that you do based on your natural abilities, based on your natural talents. So you are not screwed by your genetics. Your genetic is only giving you information. You are not screwed by the things in your genetic code. If you are naturally aggressive person, you are not screwed because of that. Some people are naturally find it easy to fight. It's there for a purpose. You can use it in a positive way. Some people are naturally quiet. Some people are natural extroverts. And let me tell you something interesting. A research was done in an hospital where we have babies that were just born. And when you make a loud noise from a particular point, they notice that when you make a loud noise, some babies look towards, let's say this is left for me, some babies look towards the noise. Whereas when you make a loud noise, some babies in the same room look away. So when the noise is there, some babies look away from the noise, while some babies look towards the noise. And they follow those babies over time. And they realize those who looked towards the noise were likely more extroverts. Like this, they enjoy social things, they enjoy a little bit of noise, they enjoy partying and all of that. Whereas babies that looked away from the noise when they were a few days old were more likely to be introverts. Does that make introverts are better than extroverts? No. Does that mean extroverts are better than introverts? No. And there's, of course, a lot of mix and decision between. But the point is, if you're an extrovert, how do I maximize my extrovertness to fulfill my purpose? If you're an introvert, how can I use this strength to fulfill my purpose? So you've got to take time to learn, to know who you are. But again, it's more than all of, there's a lot of things in our genetic codes. So, and that's why I recommend getting the book, do the test, know where you fit. Alliance formation, which is a strong support system accelerates your progress. Especially you need support system that complements you. So if you are somebody a natural introvert, for example, you need somebody who's an extrovert to be around you to make up that part of you. And the same way, they've always said opposite attracts, even in marriage. You know, if you are a naturally very quiet person, it might be good to marry somebody who is not quiet like you, so that two of you will not just be the same. So it's important to the same way in your places of job, you need to surround yourself with people who see life a little bit differently based on their genetics and based on the way they see things. Uh, some people are natural risk takers, whereas some people are naturally cautious and they're just being careful things. But we need each other. If you take risk a lot, if everybody around you is risk taker, you make a lot of mistakes. But if you have people around you who caution you and look at it another way, they might just slow you down if you avoid some troubles at times. So in your job, among your friend circle, you've got to also recognize the strengths of people around you. At the same time, find people that complement your own strengths that you have, and that is how. So, M is mission statement, and the simple one today is by building habits that align with my genetics, I'm setting myself up for great success. So, whatever mission statement you have, you can add to it, you can refine it, you can like break it down a little bit. So, I would just say, um, don't live life without a mission statement. If it's just one statement to keep succeeding, it's fine, whatever it is. And as you keep learning, reading books, which I encourage, my minimum recommendation is one book every month. My moderate one is one every week, which I choose. And of course, if you want to be super successful, you can do like three every week. At times I get to that, but it's occasional. Uh, I would recommend having a mission statement. As you keep learning every day, you can refine it, you can make it better. Have your affirmations that fit into the mission statement, and yeah, say to yourself daily the things you want to achieve with your destiny. Finally, P is prayer today. Again, always, I believe the greatest epigenetics or the greatest environmental influence you can have, or the spiritual influence, is prayers. So, um, irrespective of your habits, irrespective, one hand, we have the genetics, which is your core, what you are made up of genetically, your natural strengths, your natural abilities. On the other hand, we have uh, the habits like visualization, talk about Michael Phelps, and many other things that you do, hard work, and all of that you do to help your talent. So I would say it as a three-legged stool, and the third leg, which I think is very important, with the spiritual part, which is prayers, because I believe somebody made you that way, and at times is the best person. Okay, let me say it this way: when you have a manual, when you buy things like you buy a computer or whatever you buy, it comes with a manual from the company that made it. The manual at times give you instruction how to assemble it and many other things, and what to do if it's broken and what to do if it's bad and many things like that. So everybody is made by God, I believe. That's my own personal belief. Not to say your belief is not important or not great. I believe I respect everybody's opinion. I've said it again and again. Whenever I talk about this, uh, I say it with every sense of respect that it's easy for me to be a Christian because I was born into a Christian family and I was trained that way. And I think it's the same for most people. If I was born into, let's say, a Muslim family, maybe I'll be a Muslim today, most likely. But so I say this with all respect to everybody watching this, that I respect everybody's faith. And even those who don't believe in God, I respect it. If you are born into a family like that, it's likely you will be like that. But my own belief is, I believe everybody's made by God, and God is the best one that can tell you what He has placed inside of you. So, although some things are obvious, like I said, if you have a big muscle build or a bigger size or a tall person, it's obvious, and we just know that. Some things are not very obvious. You need to like find it out. Some strengths are things you need to like sit down and reach out for inside of you. And some things are there you don't even know it. So I believe the best person that can help us to recognize what we have the best is God, who made us and who put those things in us. So, and that's where the place of prayer comes, and learning from Him and learning from His word. So I encourage everybody to also do that. And this brings us to the end of this video today on boost your genetic code with this simple trick. And what is the simple trick? The simple trick is identify what your genetics is, or what your natural talent and your natural abilities is. That's number one trick. Number two trick is build a culture around it, or environmental influences that help you to achieve your goal, considering your uniqueness in terms of activities. Remember to like this video. It means the world to me every time you do that. Remember to share with friends that will benefit from it. And share in the comments how this has resonated with you and things that can bless others. Remember the Adapt and Advanced family. It's about encouraging each other to keep adapting and advancing to situations and circumstances that we find ourselves. And it's a movement, not just a book. This video started to talk about the book, which will be out. We are on round 4 of 5 rounds for professional editing, and we have started the book publishing process. So the plan right now, as I talk to us, is that by the 10th of May, the book will have been uploaded on Amazon and life ready to begin to buy. However, the official launch will most likely start June 1st. Things can change, but I will keep giving us updates in every single video I make as much as possible. And thank you so much for being a part of this Adapt and Advance family. I'm deeply grateful. Bye.